Today, I have with me Scott Hartsfield from FocalPoint Business Coaching. And before Scott tells us all about FocalPoint, I do have to relay a little story. I had this lovely person, Nurhan, come to me on LinkedIn. Said, Greg, I live in Germany. I've always dreamed about moving to San Diego. How can you get me to San Diego so I can live there? Well, it took us a while with the visa process, but it didn't take us too long with finding the franchise. We found her FocalPoint Business Coaching. And I got to tell you, seeing those pictures that Nurhan is posting now that she's in San Diego after moving from Germany is just really uplifting. She is just as happy as can be and happy with FocalPoint. And it's all due to Scott Hartsfield and the FocalPoint team. So Scott, tell us about a little bit of background about yourself, how long you've been in franchising, what got you there, and then give us kind of a brief overview of FocalPoint.
Excellent. Thank you for the kind introduction, and thank you so much for the great referral. Norrin is a great addition to the FocalPoint team. She fits our culture. She loves what she does. She's passionate about helping others, and thank you for leading her in that process. So as Greg stated, my name is Scott Hartsfield. I'm the Chief Development Officer here at FocalPoint. I've been with FocalPoint now. This will be my 11th year here with FocalPoint. I get the privilege and amazing opportunity to guide folks through the process of business ownership. It's something that's a passion of mine. I love helping others, get to point B, with B being greater than A. And so it's something that I've done for a very long time. I've been in the industry, franchising itself, for now 16 years, and got into here just by accident. I used to work in higher education in a very similar function in recruiting, helping folks navigate their way through education, college, getting a degree, and just always enjoy that opportunity. And someone tapped me on the shoulder and said, hey, you ought to consider getting into the franchise space. Knew absolutely nothing about it, but I did know a lot about helping people. And so found my way here and have never looked back since.
Perfect. Well, tell us a little bit about FocalPoint. Give us a little summary of the business. What's it all about?
So FocalPoint is a business coaching franchise company. We are a business coaching company that has business coaches that have all been in leadership type roles that have decided to take their talents to become a business coach, and which means they go out and coach business leaders themselves. So these are business owners, these are executive leaders, coaching them on how to have a better, more effective business. And so we've got about 250 coaches in FocalPoint who operate this business, some on a full-time basis, some on a part-time basis, and have all built their own prospective practices.
I understand you could do it all over the world.
Yeah, so our coaches primarily work from their home offices, like I am right now, and they have the opportunity to coach businesses anywhere in the world, leverage their networks anywhere in the world. A lot of the coaching is done remote, just like we're doing today, so there's no need to travel. So this is a great opportunity for people that are leaving the corporate world, or maybe have owned a business before and want to get out of the, managing of employees or the day-to-day functions and still have those same types of conversations. We are equipped with all the tools and the processes to take people like that and allow them to leverage that and become a business coach, to go out and help people, but not necessarily have to be involved in it every single day. And they can coach these clients locally. They can coach these clients anywhere in the world.
Perfect. Well, how did FocalPoint come to be? What's the history?
Yeah, so one of the original founders of FocalPoint is a gentleman by the name of Brian Tracy. Brian Tracy is a very well-known speaker, author, and business coach. He's written over 60 books. He's had close to 20 of them become bestsellers. And he partnered with a gentleman by the name of Steve Thompson, who's our CEO, co-founder and CEO. He's been here from the very, very beginning, very involved in the business. Brian Tracy and Steve partnered together and birthed FocalPoint. And now we've been running this business now for over 20 years, successfully coaching business leaders. We've coached over 50,000 businesses to success.
Wow, that is quite a lot of businesses out there that owe their success to your team. That is outstanding.
Yes.
What kind of support systems can a franchisee expect once they get into your system?
Yeah, aside, that's a really, really good point. That's one of the strongest pieces that we have in our business because while a lot of people feel that they're equipped to be a business coach, most folks don't realize they need content, they need training, they need support on how to go out and build a practice. So at Focal Point, we don't just equip them with content and teach them how to coach. We actually teach them how to build a coaching practice. How do they get clients? What are their go-to-market strategies going to look like? What's their brand or their website or their ideal client framework going to look like? What type of coach are they going to identify with? So those are some of the granular things that we focus in on to really help each person that's coming in kind of not feel like they have to think through everything because we've thought through it all. So every coach that comes on board goes through a 3-week certification training. This is going to be geared towards setting up the coach, building their website, building their ideal client framework, re-optimizing their LinkedIn and some of their social media platforms so that they are more clearly driven towards what they do as a business coach. We then take them through a full 1-week certification, teaching them how to build their practice, how to build a marketing strategy, how to build a business plan, how to actually perform coaching. They also then participate in ongoing training for several weeks after they complete that certification. And one of my favorite pieces that we bring to our support is every single coach gets a coach. So when you come on board as a coach, you'll have a personal coach working with you regularly in your practice, just like you do with your clients.
Wow, it's quite a lot of support systems there. You never have to wonder what to do next. You got it down.
Exactly. Yes.
So I know that we are working with a gentleman by the name of Chuck right now. He actually runs his own private nonprofit organization consulting business. And he came to me because he didn't know how to grow it and he needed somebody to help grow it on that one. So what other backgrounds do people have and when they get into your business, and do you have a certain profile? You mentioned something before about, some background in business and being a business leader, but anything in particular you're looking for?
Yeah.
Franchisees?
Yeah, that's a good question. So Chuck is one type of an example. So we have a lot of consultants or even independent business coaches that have gotten into this space but don't have the structure and also miss that team environment. As soon as you kind of set out on your own, you're out on your own. And a lot of folks miss that environment. They feel like that every single idea, every challenge, everything has to come through that one person. And so a lot of existing consultants and existing business coaches that have a practice are a great fit for Focal Point because they already are in this space. They just need the structure. They need the support. So those are great fits. Outside of those two profiles, I would say we're really, really attracting and looking for business leaders that have been in and around business for 20 plus years at kind of a high level where they've managed teams, led teams, because in those roles where you're managing teams or managing a department, you're doing a lot of coaching, you're doing mentoring, you're leading a team, you're helping them get their job done, which allows you to get your job done. And so a lot of folks that have been in these leadership type roles tend to be an excellent fit. These can be COOs, VP titles, CEOs, folks that have owned businesses before are great fits because they've been on the other side of the table of the people that they're coaching, and they can empathize with that pain and frustration that they deal with on a regular basis. So really business leaders, business owners, existing consultants or business coaches, all of those are a great fit for Focal Point.
Perfect. On that. So they've gotten into your system. And they said, this is the greatest thing since sliced bread. I got to do it. So run me through a day in the life of a franchisee. What are they doing? They get up 8 to 5. What do they do?
Yeah, it's a good question. So one of the exercises that we do at Focal Point when they are onboarding our coaches is we have them go through an exercise called block scheduling. And block scheduling is to really help each coach create balance in their coaching practice. And so when we open this exercise, the first thing they think we're going to do is start to talk about all of the days and times that they want to coach their clients. We actually do this opposite. We take their schedule and we say, hey, go into your calendar and void every single day, time, week, whatever that you plan not to be working in this business. Go ahead and protect that time because balance is one of our 8 culture points that we have in our business. We want our coaches to get in here, enjoy it, have fun, create balance, and also coach balance in their coaching practices. So in that balanced schedule, once they've kind of identified these key areas that they plan not to coach, we then also, okay, great. What are we going to do with this white space? How are we going to fill this space that you plan to be coaching in your practice? And so what we do is we have them start to think through their marketing and business plan of the ideal times and days that they'd like to coach, and even the fees that they would like to charge their clients. Once they build that schedule, they go out and execute. Every coach that comes out of training has a complete marketing plan fully designed. So they're not leaving training trying to figure out, now that I know how to coach, what should I do? It's already completed. So once they're in, I would say for the first 60 to 90 days, if not 120 days, they're going to really have a really focused effort on client acquisition. We have multiple programs, digital lead generation programs, strategic alliance programs, networking groups. They're going to have a website that's going to be fully optimized, but they're going to want to spend a good deal of their time going out and generating clients to start their practice, with a big emphasis on, we don't do any cold calling. None of it would require them to build a list of companies that they feel are ideal and cold call their way and try to convince and sell coaching, right? This is much more referral driven. We're typically being referred in by strategic partners like accountants or attorneys. So part of their day in the life might be going out to networking groups and building those key relationships, getting connected with some of the players in your area that serve business owners that can refer you to their clients. So it's going to be a combination of networking and building their practice, following some of the systems and processes that we put in place from a digital lead gen standpoint, and then coaching. A lot of our coaches begin coaching very quickly. Our coaches are typically signing their first client within the first 30 to 60 days of their practice. So they start putting what they've learned into practice, they begin coaching, and then that'll slowly start to taper off as that practice starts to pick up. As they start to pick up client number 2 and then 3 and then 4, that marketing will start to come down a little bit and the coaching will start to come up.
Perfect. I love it. So
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, that's just, you've got it down pat. And how many years you've been doing as FocalPoint been around now?
We've been around for 20. I've been with FocalPoint for about 11 years now.
Wow. It's a good long time through all the ups and downs in the market. Yep. For sure.
Absolutely. Yeah. And one of the big downs, obviously, COVID, when COVID hit 2020, we actually had the best year in the history of our company during 2020 on both sides. Coach acquisitions and our coaches had their best year ever with their clients.
What were all the people looking for, the business owners? What were they looking for out there the last couple of years?
Yeah. Well, the thing is, they're looking to have a more effective business, grow their business, save their business. And so we just became that frontline support to help so many of these businesses turn their businesses around, get more clarity in their business, and have a business that they can appreciate.
Awesome. What are they typically coaching them on? Is there anything in particular, or they're just a wide variety of topics?
Yeah, so that's a great question. So one of the benefits, going back to one of your earlier questions of why folks would want to join FocalPoint, is our curriculum. So there's a lot of experienced folks out there that have been in business that could help people in business, but it would be much more reactive. The coaching conversation would look more like, hey, my name's Scott, you got me for the hour, how can I help you, right? That won't take you very far because they're going to be driving this process. We have a curriculum that drives the entire process. So our average coaching engagement with a client literally runs about 3 years in length. So this is a consistent, recurring engagement, right? And it's because we have a wealth of content that we use to drive these conversations. So our coaching typically gets involved into really 5 areas, right? We're going to help this business leader get really, really clear on what it is that they're trying to accomplish in this business. That's coached through a module that we have called Gaining Power Through Clarity, right? We're going to be helping them getting clear on their goals, getting clear on the business model itself, their competitive landscape, the constraints in the business, things like that. We also coach on how to have a more effective business, how to do what you do better. We get into growth, we get into sales, we get into leadership. Those are kind of the 5 key areas that we coach on. And that literally represents just one of our coaching revenue streams. We have lots of ways that we do that. We get into training, we get into workshops, we do financial assessments, behavioral assessments. strategic planning with them. So there's many, many things that we do. And going back to our culture point, I mentioned balance. Integrity is part of that culture point. And one of the ways that we're always able to operate with integrity and always be authentic and be transparent is we're able to meet our clients where they are. That's why we don't go out and sell coaching and convince them that they need to hire us. Our goal is to figure out, is what you're dealing with as a business owner something that I can help you with as a business coach? And so that answer might be one-on-one coaching. That answer might be mastermind groups. That answer might be strategic planning. That answer might be training your salespeople. All of that, our focal point coaches are equipped to do. And so that's where we're able to pivot based upon what our clients' needs are.
Wow, perfect. Definitely love it. I know that both my two people, both Noreen and Chuck, when they started talking to your other franchisees, they just heard lots of good things. So it sounds like you've got a lot of happy franchisees out there in your system at this time.
We absolutely do. Yeah. When folks go through our validation process, we just had every coach that comes on board, we have them fill out a little piece of information asking them why they joined. And probably 9 out of 10, if not 10 out of 10, they say the people. They connected with the people in our company and the culture in our company. And our coaches love it. They flat out enjoy it. One of the most common things that I hear after people join is, I wish I would have done this 5 or 10 years ago. And so, yeah, lots of happy coaches.
Yeah, I know I got into franchising, got a franchise myself after being in the corporate world for a number of years. And yeah, it was the first thing I thought of too was, man, I wish I had known about this sooner. I'd have been out of that corporate grind a long time ago on that.
Yeah.
Franchising is great. Well, good. Well, that's a lot of great information, Scott. Anything else that you'd like to add?
Yeah, I would just say, if you're thinking about business ownership and you're looking at leveraging your background and skills, we're a very affordable franchise. Our franchise is under $70,000 all in. So it's a great initial investment to come on board. I love the value proposition is fantastic in a great economy or maybe in a not so good economy. So if you're the type of person that loves to help people and genuinely, I think it'd be a great opportunity.
I think so too, and obviously so do my people. And we definitely, our team places people in focal point. And
yes.
Never heard anything bad. Always good things that we hear whenever they go through the validation.
Thank you very much.
That is good.
Thank you very much.
How do people get a hold of you if they need to learn more?
Yes, thank you, Greg. And again, thank you for having me on today. So again, my name is Scott Hartsfield. I'm the Chief Development Officer here at FocalPoint. I work with every single candidate that comes through this process to ensure that they're a great fit and line up with our culture and make sure this is something that would make sense for the candidate. You can reach me directly. My mobile direct number is 919-599-1306. You can also email me directly at shartsfield, HARTSFIELD at FocalPointCoaching.com. So shartsfield at FocalPointCoaching.com. Perfect.
Well, there you go. Just pick up the phone and give Scott a call and just start asking questions. He's more than happy to answer them for you. Or just contact me and I'll introduce you to him as well. Either way, but go for it. You owe it to yourself to take a look at FocalPoint.
Excellent. Greg, thank you so much for having me on. I appreciate it.
Appreciate your time today, Scott. Good working with you.
Thank you. Have a good day.